Today's gospel takes us to a joyful celebration, a wedding feast in Cana. This beautiful story from John's gospel is more than a retelling of a miraculous event. It is a profound revelation of who Jesus is and what he desires for us. The wedding at Cana is the scene of his first public miracle, a sign of God's abundant love and grace poured into our lives. Jesus is present in our celebrations. Notice where Jesus performs his first miracle, not in the synagogue or a solemn setting, but at a joyful wedding feast. Weddings are occasions of love, union, and joy. Jesus' presence at the celebration reminds us that God is not distant or detached from our daily lives. He delights in our joys, shares in our celebrations, and walks with us through life's ordinary moments. In this story, we see Mother Mary noticing a need. The wine, a symbol of joy and festivity, has run out. Mother Mary approaches Jesus, confident that he can make a difference. Her words, "They have no wine," reflect the trust and intercession we can also bring before the Lord in our needs. Here we can see the role of Mary, a model of faith and intercession. Mary's response to situation is a powerful example in faith. Though Jesus initially replies, "My hour has not yet come," Mary does not insist or argue. Instead, she turns to the servers and says, "Do whatever he tells you." These words of Mary are as relevant today as they were at Cana. When we face challenges, uncertainties, or moments when we feel like the wine of our lives, our energy or hope is running low, Mother Mary invites us to trust in her Son. She shows us the way to surrender, bringing our needs to Jesus and trusting in his timing and wisdom. Transformation through obedience. The servants at the wedding play a critical role in this miracle. When Jesus instructs them to fill the stone jars with water, they obey without question, even though his request might have seemed puzzling. Their simple act of obedience opens the way for a miraculous transformation. This reminds us that God often works through the ordinary and mundane. When we follow Jesus' commands, even when they seem small and insignificant, his grace transforms our lives. The water becomes wine, not just any wine, but the best wine, overflowing and abundant. A sign of God's abundant grace. The miracle at Cana points to the abundance of God's grace. The stone jars filled with water symbolize the old covenant, but Jesus transformed them into the vessels of new life and joy. In him, the old gives way to the new, scarcity turns into abundance. The miracle is also a foretaste of the ultimate joy that Jesus brings, the eternal wedding feast of heaven. Through his death and resurrection, he pours out his life for us, offering the fullness of grace and salvation. Jesus' invitation to trust. My dear friends, the story of Cana invites us to trust in Jesus, especially when we face moments of emptiness or loss. Perhaps we are struggling in our families, relationships, or faith. Maybe we feel like the wine of our joy has run out, or lost. He gives us something even better. Let us also take Mother Mary's words to heart. Do whatever He tells you. Obedience to Jesus, even in small things, opens the door for His transformative power in our lives. As we reflect on the wedding at Cana, let us rejoice in the God who meets us in the ordinary, transforms our emptiness into fullness, and invites us to share in His joy. May we, like Mother Mary, trust in Jesus with unwavering faith. May we, like the servants, respond to His commands with willing hearts. And may we experience the abundance of His grace, which is always the best wine of our lives. Let's carry this message with us. No matter what we face, Jesus is with us, ready to turn our water into wine. Let's open our hearts to Him and allow Him transformative love to fill us with joy and hope. Let us invite Jesus and Mary to remain with us in our homes when we feel shortages in our family lives. The spouses need Jesus and Mary when their dreams are gone. Mutual love seems dried up. The relationship becomes boring, and raising the children became a burden. The awareness of the presence of Jesus and Mary in the family will encourage parents to create an atmosphere of prayer. Let us follow Mary's invitation. Do whatever He tells you. This is the only recorded command given by Mary in the New Testament. The Bible tells us how to do the will of God and effect salvific changes in our lives. Just as Jesus filled the empty water jars with wine, let us fill the empty hearts around us with love. By the miracle of Cana, Jesus challenged us also to enrich the empty lives of those around us with new wine, love, mercy, concern, and care.